Hello everybody, sorry if you've been typing in chat, where are you, why aren't you speaking, and I haven't been speaking, because I haven't been. Slight technical issues, bear with me a moment. I can't see my own chat because my Surface is being weird. These are the wages of tech ownership, one supposes. Yes, okay. Trying to bring up chat. Why can I not bring up chat? Where is my own? I don't have chat. I've got my feed. Now, let me go to my main page. Yeah, I have to try and navigate my own. Come on. I'm sure this is incredibly thrilling to watch. I mean, this falls under the first 5 minutes concept, where the first 5 minutes can be skipped ahead on YouTube, which is good. That's entirely necessary. Okay, I'm in theatre mode. Whispers, that's not relevant to me. There we go. Okay, cool. Wonderful. I can finally see chat, and now I want to see only chat. No, that's my viewer list. Tisk. Nope, don't want to see whispers. Yeah, there's a lot of buttons here, and not a lot of them just give me a clear explanation of what they do. Yep, okay, I'm in this chat, that's great. Wait, here we go. No, wait. Hope. Pop out. That's what I want. That's what I want. I can hopefully close or back out of that now, surely. Do I have pure chat? Okay, I have pure chat. Wonderful, excellent. Whew, alright, that's been 5 minutes. Hello and welcome once again to the SciFiAIguy channel, where I will be continuing to play SOMA for the 15th week. Not in a row, but yeah. So yes, we're going to press on. I've had another exhausting day. My throat hurt terribly last night after finishing a rousing and incredible game of Dungeons & Dragons, so I'll push on as long as I can. Hopefully we can do the full 90, it would be nice. I've got my usual soothing balm of adjacent fluids. Fluids should always be rated by their adjacency. And when I kicked open the stream, when I turned it all on today, I chose high quality as opposed to standard in 540p. So if it looks better, that's why. If it chugs and therefore looks worse, let me know, and I can restart the stream or something. Or if it's a minimal difference and we can put up with it for one day, then yeah. But I figured, now that we've got the NBN and now that we're having pretty decent success with it, I thought we'd try and push the envelope on that a little bit. Anyway, it's time to press X to continue. Get this loading. The plan to take the Dunbat into the Abyss has failed. Simon and Catherine have decided to go to Omicron and ride the climber down instead, but first Simon has to find a way out of Theta. So, yeah, I did a little bit of a looky-loo online, just vague, just trying to get impressions, trying to see, how many tasks were lined up ahead of me. And it actually looks like there's a good chunk of content up ahead. It really does look like we're going to have a few more sessions. So I'm going to try and whip through them. Obviously, we haven't seen the last of monsters, but I wasn't trying to spoil myself on monster stuff. I considered it, for monster mechanic things, and there's a lot of people whinging online. I think whinging is the mean way of saying it, because I agree with them. Yeah, monsters are problematic. But yeah, I think there's actually not just, spoofing around in corridors having not much to do, but true content ahead. The story seems to keep unfolding. Or at the very least, there's things to read and things to look at, and I fucking love those. So we'll see how that goes. I would love to say that we can just get it all done and we can walk away and finish this game tonight or in a week or even in a fortnight. I mean, a fortnight might be the trick, I don't know. I just don't know. I'm wondering whether it's worth saving some of my remarks to the end as well, because I say stuff in the moment, and I guess that is the point, but I don't know. because I was thinking of doing like a closing video, closing thoughts, but there isn't a lot of point because so much of what needs to be said kind of has just been said by me already, I think. I don't know. I guess I'll probably rant a lot when we get the ending over the credits. Ooh. Okay, that's cool. You know, fairly standard sci-fi nonsense. Oh, and saving. Now the enterprising protagonist, yep, goes for a wander. So, okay. When I saw this hallway, and I saw the, okay, yep. Give me them noises. I saw the surrounding hallway, I was like, okay. Oh, yep, here we go. So there is more to this building. Alright. Wow, there's a lot to this building. Okay, so maybe monster times are approaching. Because, you know, this... Okay, yep, blood everywhere. Lots of bay windows. Okay, I think we're in Monster Town. Yep. Okay. Let's go this way. Yeah, so I'll need to duck back in there and heal if something goes wrong. Okay. I mean, if we all remember correctly, Akers doesn't have eyes, right? Oh wow, it's in the vent above me. It just has to be, right? Oh, is it going to drop down out of there? Okay. So the horror game portion is kicked back in. I mean, not that it was ever truly absent. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Crafty Devious had a weird eye thing. Well, I played with his eyes. I remember, you know, being like, ooh, ooh, and tossing them around. Yeah, there are several things, as you guys are aware of, that are giving me pause and difficulty in completing this game. There's a few different factors. Oh, holy shit. Oh, yeah, that's promising. Which is to say that's bad. So... Okay. Okay. So we've got the usual hide from room to room thing. Oh shit, damn. It's another living person. But not someone I can communicate with. Non-selectable. Oh wow, they're both alive. Okay. So... it's possible that the person in the room over there that I couldn't get to is being kept alive, or has separated themselves and died so that this wouldn't happen. Like, look at this. Yeah, I want to pull the plug, right? I want to operate that node and save them, so to speak. But the downside of that is that I got to save that heal. Yeah. Yeah, this stuff just isn't turning my crank anymore. I want to just sort of watch the movie that is the remainder of the game, you know? I want to just get the juice. Such a hassle. Yeah, the game feels like a hassle. And I don't want to do that again. I don't just want to sit here and have another whinge like last week we got some shocking amount of content done for all my whinging. So that was good, but... And of course, schedule is part of the nonsense. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna take a moment to center myself. Place of old. Oh my god, you did play with his eyes. I'd forgotten and nearly snorted custard. I did not know you snorted custard. Did you snort custard when it happened the first time? Because that's awesome. That is really cool. I like the idea of there being a visceral chat reaction to the visceral action of me playing with some removed eyes. Yeah, yeah, from here in chat, it's an FU movie to watch. Yeah, good point, Crafty. You guys have the chat option, right? Or you have the viewer optiones. Also, like, this is a map in which I am immediately lost, right? Like, I was given this map, and I did not memorize it. Oof. Like, there's going to be content in these rooms, I presume, but it's a matter of getting to them all. Wow, so just everybody's still just alive here. I mean, oh, okay. Okay. So, here's what's really strange. This person isn't terribly connected, right? Unless it's through the shoe. Unless they've been sort of sprayed and that's how they're still alive. Like, I don't get how this person is still going. It's sort of incongruous with everything else we've been shown, right? Okay. Yeah, he's in the vents. Ackers is in the vents for sure. For sure, though. Okay. Well, let's read some emails. Ackers, January 16th, 2104. I am so out of touch with what time it is at the moment. And what time is, I have no idea. Ackers, January 16th, 2104. Jerry Ackers, age 66, sex, M. One of the worst cases I've seen, and it's most likely his own damn fault. He blinded himself and clogged up his insides with structure gel. I'd be surprised if he ever woke up from the coma. It did make me think of Hart's absurd story about what happened at Lambda. Could it really be that the WoW is somehow able to charge and rebuild the or I don't know how to pronounce an underscore. I presume a kind of charge and rebuild. See, it's not charge and rebuild unless it's charge and rebuild the human body. Is that the idea? Is that what they're trying to say there? Weird. Hart. Vanessa Hart. Age 28, sex F. Hart appears to be in good shape considering the circumstances, only bruises and mild hypothermia caused by the long walk. It's difficult to corroborate her story as she's the only one to return. Okay. So once again, we're in Monster Town. Oh wow, okay. Let's see if it's blind. Nope. Guys, I want to like SOMA. Guys, I really want to like SOMA, and I really want to show you guys SOMA. But, yeah, I think I'm reaching the end of my rope. I'm looking at, I mean, it's, so we have to look at the context of the situation. This is me being just upfront and honest with myself. I have pushed through several sections in this game that were not intent because of the story that's being told, because of the theories that are being thrown around, and they're all amazing. Like, there's so much going on in this game that is spot on and spectacular and fucking fantastic and so good. And it's interspersed with these parts that are the gameplay of the game, right? Like, it's not a movie. The point of this is meant to be an interactive situation where, and the benefits of this are massive. I get to be Simon. I get to pilot Simon around the world. I mean, this is, you know, this is what video games can do when it comes to narrative is really draw you in, and especially when you become a kind of unreliable narrator, it's the potential is massive. As we've seen, there's been so many fantastic moments. That moment of Simon seeing himself in the mirror and then seeing the robot eyes, that was amazing. The moment last week when we found out that we're also a human, like we're the remains of a human woman with implants crammed in, and now Simon's consciousness grafted on top of that. There's so much here. But the monster sections, like I look at what just happened. I did not signal to the monster that I was close. There was nowhere in this room to hide. I did what the game has repeatedly told me to do, which is to not look at the monster. And I've read people online saying that the monsters are busted, all you need to do is look the other way and you never get hurt. And I was like, oh, well, I've tried that, but I'm going to keep trying that again. And look at this shit. Like, I couldn't have run away. Well, maybe I could have run away. But it was right outside. I don't know the layout of the map. The downside to being beaten up like this is that I now limp around, can't see as well, and it's more likely for me to be struck again, and then I just restart the area again. But the core conceit, the actual mechanic, is not fun. Like, what is the game? What values are the game teaching me in pure gameplay elements alone, not story-wise? What does the game want me to value? And I don't know what to take from this. I would have thought it valued me not looking at the monsters because of the way it disrupts my screen. I would have thought it valued sneaking and hiding, and I mean, is it just piss poor luck? But then, why is that okay? Why wasn't that sort of? I don't know. I grapple with this stuff a lot, and it riles me up, and it sets my teeth on edge. And I look at this and I think, okay, we've got all this great content, but now it's interspersed with me crawling around, being chased by a monster that I can't do anything about. I can't even hide by the logic of the game. I had no way to hide in this situation. It was just suddenly coming, and then it was just suddenly fucking with me. Like, I don't know what this game was signaling. It's possible the vents are like a warning. Like, if you hear it in the vents, then you have to leave that room, but surely the vents go everywhere. Like, without knowing the vent system, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I meant to die several times. Maybe that's the really shitty thing about this map. I meant to just die repeatedly until I learned what I need to learn and then leave. I don't like that. I don't like the sounds of that. That doesn't sound fun to me. And yeah, I think I'm reaching the tipping point, guys. I'm gonna see what chat has to say, which at the moment is just crafting in place of old, which is absolutely dandy, absolutely fantastic to see you guys as always. Place of old, move to a new game, come back in a few months when you're fresh and ready. I'm seriously considering that. I'm considering departing this game, watching playthroughs, and then either learning how to break the game so that I can show you guys the rest of it, like come back to it and finish SOMA. Or if I find a good playthrough, I link people to it, and then I talk about its ideas in a wrap-up video. I do a wrap-up video that is, once I'm sure that my core audience has seen the same information that I have, I wrap up and I talk about it and I field questions, and we do just a purely chat-based segment. And I think that would be cool. It's something I was looking to do anyway, but instead of you guys watching me live, I just show you what YouTube clips you need to watch, or even what you just need to read online. If you don't want to watch some other, dickhead flinging themselves from room to room, there might be speed runs of SOMA, but that's hardly gonna show the right content, isn't it? It's tricky, right? Like, let's play compilations of this game are more likely to be people freaking out because that's the nugget, that's the juice. But that's not what I'm after. I'm not after fear, I'm after content. And it's just a shame that I started with a fucking horror game. Crafting devious, completionism is not, it needs not be an end in and of itself. Yeah, exactly. And this is what video games do that the majority of other narrative media do not, is prevent you from getting the ending, prevent you from actually experiencing the ending of the game without playing through it, right? Like, that's the problem, is it enforces aptitude in the game such that you can get narrative resolution. I love games now that have a narrative mode where the gameplay elements are there, but they're incredibly perfunctory. Things just, fall down when you shoot them. You've got infinite health, or maybe not infinite health. Like, I dare say you can still die, but the point is that if you have a smaller modicum of skill, you will have a much higher likelihood of actually just reaching the end of the game, or perhaps skippable sections. L.A. Noire, which I could not get through even a third of for the life of me. It's such a long game and so confusingly written for what it tried to be. And there's a longer story behind that from what I've heard in terms of its development. But it allowed me to skip action and vehicle sections. And vehicle sections, being, in a GTA style, were terrible. I was absolutely awful at those because you're a cop. You can't just run people over and call it good. So I just skipped those. I actually tanked them on purpose so that the game would offer me the skip so I could get on with the story. That's what I cared about. And that's what I wish this game would do. I totally get why it doesn't. But by the same token, it's just unfortunate that there is this cultural convention that this particular narrative form doesn't allow for people to skip to the end or to skip to the next scene or anything like that. Like so many people, when they pick up a book, they look at the last page, look at the last chapter and check out that first. I can't face the idea of doing that myself, but I can see why other people would, because your expectation when you start a text and when you progress through a text is one of the key elements in how much you enjoy that text, right? And if what you need for that expectation to be stoked is part of the ending to be ruined and what you really need is the process, that's fine. There are in fact really great narratives that tell you pretty much at the start what's going to happen at the end, but then it's the journey. It's how it's going to get to there that's interesting. I think that's fine. I think it's entirely valid. And it's just a bit of a shame here for me that I'm being stiffed in this fashion by this game. Because I want to read those emails. I can't even fucking read emails anymore. I've never been interrupted at a computer before by a monster. Well, no, I mean, sort of. There was that really early on stompy, clanky monster back in the first place we woke up. But I'd already, that, had I tried to read those emails late, I would have ended up in that scenario. But I read the emails, then I inadvertently unleashed the monster, and then I needed to dick with the screens a bit to escape. I feel like that was the thing. That was near Carl, that poor guy that we tortured. Yeah, Crafty, whatever works to keep yourself engaged, it's pretty important for you to be hooked in. Yeah, it's much like being a dungeon master, I suppose. My enjoyment is key to the progression of this form, and I feel bad whinging. I really do. I really don't want to sit down of a Monday night and just complain. That's not what I want, and there's so much to like in SOMA. It is such a good story, and it's got so many good concepts, and in so many ways, it hews closer to the philosophical discoveries I have made regarding artificial intelligence than almost anything else I've encountered, which is great because it's such a modern text. It says to me that either the genre is progressing, either in part or in whole, or these guys really did their research, which can progress the genre either in part or in whole. It's all good. It's all amazing. It's just couched in a form that is difficult for me to even enjoy. I can move around. I can pick up signals. I'm not necessarily the most spry individual in SOMA. I will admit that I'm a very cautious player, but that's that's core to how I function in these settings. I took forever on the first Dishonored and loved it. Absolutely loved it. But it let me save scum. I had agency. There were things I could do and interact with that felt powerful. And of course, I'm not saying that SOMA should necessarily have that. I'm not asking SOMA to hand me a gun, right? Because that's not what the game is trying to do. And in fact, by being a horror game and by forcing me to fear these things and not face them down, it increases that horror. It increases... I'm not sure if it actually increases the abjection specifically, but there's a lot that I want to talk about in this game when it comes to the abject. And again, that'll have to wait till the end. I might make some dot points, but... yeah, anyway. So, Place of Old. Is there another game that you have in mind to move to? Well, there are two that are the most obvious. One is the Turing Test, which is a puzzle game. Oh, two actually, that spring to mind that are easy, potentially easy. That game is not a surprise in terms of its ending, in terms of how things unfold. It's brilliant, so it'll be a treat for you guys to watch. I will not be as shocked, of course, having already encountered it, but it's still well worth playing through it and actually responding to in real time. Turing Test, amazing. Talos Principle, which I haven't seen full playthroughs of because I wanted to experience that one firsthand. I am aware of the fact that you're playing a robot, and it's been advised to me that I play it, but I didn't get the impression from any other reviews or discussions about the game that its content, its narrative, was actually going to be delivering much in terms of AI talk, right? Like I could probably talk sci-fi stuff, but I don't know that I could talk AI stuff. And so that's probably not at the first. Like Turing test is a guaranteed winner. Talos Principle might have to wait until I conduct further research. Again, I might have to spoil myself, right? I might have to spoil myself on all of these upcoming games before I play them. And, you know, the fact that I didn't have to so much with SOMA, and then SOMA delivered just an amazing amount of discussion points is great. It's actually been a really strong opener in that regard, and I'm really happy and proud to have picked this game. And it does bum me out that I'm leaving it after working so hard as well. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there are two things that you guys get out of, or three things that you guys get out of attending, the way I see it. You get to experience the joy of chatting with people in chat. We've got a lovely little community going. It appears to be a quiet night, but even then, it is a quiet night with, you know, two of the most stalwart and amazing people in my little world. So that's, you know, I thank and love you both. The second thing is the game. So you guys get to see the game as it progresses. So in SOMA, you get to see the little, not quite cutscenes, you know, they're all done in, and I really appreciate that the game does that. Cutscenes actually really rankle me. And that has a lot to do with me growing up with games like Half-Life 2, or growing up with, you know, reaching internal maturity at a time when it was a very influential text. Anyway, yeah, you guys experience the narrative in the game. The narrative in the game, piece by piece, as it's played through by me. And so you experience the game in that way, without playing it, but watching people play games is cool. And then the third part is watching/listening to me do the stuff about the game. And it sucks that by not finishing SOMA, I'm sort of divorcing those sections, and we'll get the talking, and we'll get the chat community with the talking when I do a wrap-up video, but, you know, it won't be me experiencing the game in real time and yelling and whatever. But I will do that with another game. This isn't the end of the channel, it's just the end of this playthrough of this game. I mean, 15, 16, like, it's so many episodes, guys. That's a lot. And that's a long time just to push through things in terms of... Well, there's not a lot of turnover, right? Like, I know that I have friends who want to be watching this but don't like horror games. So by opening with a horror game, I've ostracized them initially from this experience. But when they join later, when they see new games, they're going to be like, ooh, hopefully. And they'll enjoy that. Place of Old, I've heard so much about Portal but never seen it. Well, Portal and Portal 2 are amazing games. I love them deeply. There's not as much to talk about with AI, but they are very important. Like, I'll probably end up playing them because at some point I'm going to run out of games that fulfill my brief. Like the SciFiAIguy wedge it's not a big crossover in the Venn diagram. Those two circles, they intersect, and they intersect a lot more in other media, but in video games, a bit less so, right? There's not a lot of obvious things for me to deal with, or for me to play with. I mean, we've got SOMA, Turing test, Talos Principle, Mass Effect. The problem again with Mass Effect is it's so long. Oh, it is long, and there are so many story threads that aren't to do with artificial intelligence, which is great. It's a big and it's a rich and it's a powerful world. But me playing through the Mass Effect trilogy and potentially Andromeda for 90 minutes a week, ridiculous. So what I'll probably do is inspect the Mass Effect trilogy on my own time, when I find time, and then present you guys specific sections and then talk and play through them. So it will be a kind of showcase of Mass Effect's best moments and what they have to say. If that would be enjoyable for you and for me. It depends if it's helpful for my thesis as well, because that's a lot of effort to go to. If I don't end up talking about Mass Effect in the thesis or talking about it in a close way, you know, we'll see. But again, I'm happy to, over time, go back to those old games with which I'm very familiar, but which I know have some impact. Maybe not the hugest amount of impact to the brand of SciFiAIguy, but some impact, and some impact in terms of the academic quality of conversation that will arise from it. Oh, we have a Saz. Hello, Saz. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are just in time well, I say just in time, you've missed the rant by a sizable margin. I will not be playing any more SOMA. I'm done with SOMA. There are too many problems with the gameplay for me to want to progress live and uncover the story. Yeah, that's the short version. The short version is, I'm taking my ball and going home. I will conduct private research into SOMA by watching other playthroughs and doing reading of various parts. I will share that information with everybody. I will tell everybody, where to go, what to read, what to watch, such that you're all caught up. And then I will host a, SOMA chat wrap-up. Hell, I might even try and obtain one of those PlayStation Eye cameras, and it can be, you guys will see me. You guys will see me talking about it, because there needs to be some visual element, right? Yeah, we can just sit at the SOMA, continue screen with the music and the noise and the funky face, and then my funky face ruining everything. So yeah, oh, this is good news. Saz, believe it or not, it's another bank holiday here, and Matt has the day off again. Well, hello, Matt. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is good to see you, even in second-hand textual form. Oh, you're not staying. Have fun, guys. See you next time, whenever that is. Okay, well, you've you've turned up in time to hear me rant a bit. Catch you next week. So, this is the question. Yeah. No, I just answered my own question. I was going to pose the question, do we start another game tonight? The problem with starting another game tonight is that it's insufficient warning for other people who want to start a new game with us, and I think that is a valuable experience to be a part of, particularly in a game that is so narratively driven like the Turing test. I really want everybody there at the start if they can be. I want to give them that option, right? Plus, I've got to buy it and download it. And, okay, yeah, we're on NBN, but, there's this window of time that I'm, air quotes, live for, and I'd like to adhere to that as much as possible for consistency, for myself and for everybody else who wants to watch. So we're not going to start a new game tonight. So we're going to play Darkest Dungeon. Yep, Place of Old. Bam. Crafty. Bam. You both guessed it. You both twigged it. We're playing Darkest Dungeon. So yeah. Advertise up on the next game. Prep and plan. Yep. Nope, Crafty, you are 100% correct. All right, guys, well, without further ado, this has been a half hour of faffing about and a tiny bit of information about Akers being in a coma. Yeah, I'm going to close the stream, open Darkest Dungeon. Oh, I'm going to... No, I want it to split. I want this video to be on its own, to be its own little nugget, and close off the SOMA loop therein. And then part 16, I think, because I think this is part 15. Part 16 will be the breakdown video, and that'll just happen later. I'll book that in, and it probably won't be a full hour and a half, so it might be at the end of something. I'm not sure, actually. I don't know. We'll figure that out. Maybe it'll be on a different night. Maybe there'll be a discussion night. I don't know. The world is my lobster. Anyway, guys, I'll catch you in a minute.